Hi everyone, this is with Duncan-Shotunde, your pelvic health physical therapist, ambassador pro plus for my PFF. I vlog life situations in relation to health, and today is your first time on my YouTube channel. You're very much welcome. Today is a special edition as I'm going to be hosting someone in my channel today, and today we'll be talking about birth experiences. Very much we know that around or all over the world, fathers are not usually involved in birth experiences, but then we never say never. You never know how they feel or how what their emotions were when they were there. Nobody ever really asked the man how he felt at the birth. So I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Okay, so on my vlog today is my dad, Pastor Duncan, and he's going to be sharing his experience, his birth experiences. My dad did well to have 5 good children, which I'm one of them. Maybe I'm stubborn, maybe I'm not, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to be asking him, or I'm going to be asking him to share his experience as a father let me just cut it down so that we don't prolong the video. I would have said you should share his experience for the 5 different births, but let me cut it down to mine alone. Okay, now the reason why I decided to interview him is because I know most men are not involved in the births of their children, but we never know how they felt, or most men are not usually asked. Is the mothers are usually being asked, that's if they are even being asked about how their experience was, and make them talk about it. So first of its kind, sort of, I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. So I want to hear my dad's experience at my birth, how it felt for him, or how he felt, and how his emotions were and all. Okay, so good to have you, sir. He's a very jovial person, don't mind him. It's just, it was like, this is just like an impromptu session, sort of. So when I told him I was going to be interviewing him, he was like, about what? Talk about what or what? Okay, so let's dive right into it. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I think I remember the vivid one where you were called Aduragbe.
Okay.
Okay,
no, maybe before we go into that, were you there when, maybe when mommy was in labor?
Yeah, I was there. I was shuttling between the Butemeta and our place in Ota.
Okay.
So the labor was delayed. I think everybody has lost. I don't know why. So they asked mommy to leave the main maternity something, the main ward.
Okay.
And she was asked to stay in the passage.
Was I in a hospital?
Yes, in the Redeemed Present Church of God maternity.
Okay.
So I will come after closing from work at Ikeja, drive down to Butemeta. How far? Nothing. How far? Nothing. So on this day, as I was going home, when I came back, I saw her. She was asked to stay by the veranda, so that other people could be attended to.
Okay.
Only later we now heard that she had delivered, and we called her name Aduragbe. That prayer sustained me.
Okay, so that phase between while she was in labor and she hadn't put to bed, and you were shuttling between work and the maternity, how did you feel? How were you feeling? What was the state of your mind as the father or as the husband as well?
Agitation. Yes. Because normally you know what her parents would have said. So when this one happened, I dragged with me our faith.
Okay.
So we really thank God for His faithfulness in making us go through this one successfully.
At that point, did you vow to yourself that we're not getting pregnant again?
Yes, because my uncles, my late uncle, Uncle Tom, called me and said, Kwesi, I think you have to.
You have to put it
you have to, maintain. So, glory be to God.
Hallelujah. Okay, so in with your experience, would you say that birth situation was a traumatic one for you?
It was, because when it was being delayed, everything came to my mind. What if she passes on? How will I take care of the
other children? Wow.
children?
Bear in mind, I have 3 senior ones. So, okay. So, in terms of being traumatic, what do you think you could have done to make it a better experience for you?
It's prayer.
It's prayer, okay.
Because there's nothing man can do except even you are a doctor. You wouldn't even allow you to take delivery of your wife. So it's prayer.
So the only thing at that time that you felt could have made the situation better was to pray.
Exactly.
It wasn't like, oh, okay, maybe if you had chosen a different facility, or if you felt you had better professionals on ground, things could have been a bit different, or not.
More so because she's the first one that was to be delivered in the
maternity. Okay.
The other ones were in standard hospitals.
Oh.
The first one was in Root. The other ones were one of the good hospital in Ikeja. Okay. So for this one,
so it was more like, hey, who asked us to try in maternity this time? We should have gone to a standard hospital. Okay.
A church maternity.
A church maternity. Okay. To you, what did it look like from the beginning to the end? Okay, so when you saw me as a baby, when you were told, your wife has given birth, I'm sure they didn't allow you into the labor room where she was laboring.
No, I go in.
Okay.
But when she finally put to bed, I was not there.
Okay.
I was not there. But when I came, to check again, that was my normal check from work to maternity. She has put to bed. Praise the Lord.
So, when you finally saw me, how did you feel?
Happy.
Happy?
Yes, happy.
Can you recollect what any thoughts that crossed your mind at that time?
When I carried the baby, I said, well, this is going to be the last one. This is going to be the last one.
It's supposed to be the last child, as in really enjoying my life as the last one, but I'm not the last one. No. See, I have one younger sister. What other question am I being asked? You. Okay.
And I want to say that name, Faith, in fact, names have effect on people.
True.
Because when she was growing up, when she came to the crawling age, my work then with Cadbury involves me traveling to North for tomato harvesting and processing. So this time around, I traveled, and my boss gave me a call that something happened, that my little child crawled and grabbed a live wire extension, this extension in the house. I had to come down to Lagos, I think the second day, flew down to Lagos to now see the mark on her hand where she grabbed this thing. But thank God that there was no serious casualty.
I remember seeing pictures afterwards of my hand kept, or not that kept, but because it was still undergoing rehabilitation at that time, it was still healing. You know, my fingers were sort of like this, but yeah. I thank God really that my parents are educated people and they knew what to do, the right thing to do at that time, because I've seen cases of children with even situations that were not as bad as mine, and they didn't take their children to the right place. Actually, they must have had a physiotherapy session for me at one point or the other, because I mean, if my hands were in that flexed deformity, it was like a clawed hand while it was healing. I mean, that would have probably been how I would have grown up with my hand, and it was my left hand, my hand clawed like that. But now this is the hand and I can use it very well, freely. In fact, if I don't tell you I had a burn, an electrical burn on this hand, you wouldn't know. Okay, so it's always very, very vital that when you have any health challenge, seek a health professional first before going to or listening to my cousin said, my neighbor said, we can do this, we can do that, or going to Trado Medical or Trado, what's the name again? Trado Medical massagers and all of that can destroy the hand or destroy the part of the body that is being affected. Okay, so
and also I would advise parents to keep off all dangerous things around the house. Keep them off the floor. Because this was an extension, an electrical extension. They peeled, exposed cable, which she grabbed.
Okay. So growing up.
Yeah, growing up. The second, what I want to say about the name Faith and Adura Baby. We were traveling to Jos again. Just before, I think, we thought we could buy fuel at Ilorin. Unfortunately, there was this fuel crisis, there was no fuel. We got to Mina. There's a restaurant that normally has fuel. We got there was no fuel. And here I am in the vehicle with, I think, when I was the firstborn. These three radicals were in the vehicle with me. They would jump into the back. On the back seat, they would move to the rear, to the back screen. And they would be telling me that the vehicle is coming. Don't let that vehicle overtake you. The vehicle is coming, don't let it overtake you. So when we now got to this fuel station in Mina, and there was no fuel, and we are already, I think we are almost in reserve. What do we do this evening or towards the night? As everybody was quiet, but all along they've all been singing, dancing, shouting in the car. But now that we now saw what happened, everybody was quiet. In my heart I was saying, what will I do with these three children?
Children on the highway.
Only for her to start. Bijinja, Bategun, Dawo Duro, Jesu Yoda Bobo Alagbara. She was singing that song with all seriousness. I don't know where that song came from. I also joined. Bijinja, Bategun, Dawo Duro. Not quite long we got to a place. She was the one who saw in one remote corner where they were selling a black market fuel. See that they're selling fuel there. That was how we turned. We went to the place. They sold black market to us. They sold extra to us in keg, so as to enable us to get to Jos. Because then I was staying in the Jos airport guest house. At least to enable us to get to Jos before we go to tent where we are, to the guest house where we are supposed to stay with the Christian missionaries. As we bought that fuel, it was so dark. I couldn't even see I couldn't even know the road again. But God, in His faithfulness, in His mercy, there was a man right there who said, please, can you give me lift? I said, I don't know you, but we are going to Jos. He said, yes, how much are you going to Jos? So he brought the vehicle with us. Because it was night, so he was directing us how we are to go until we got to the airport guest house. From there, I know the way. So we now went. From there, we now went to Ghana Rock, where I was to stay with the Christian missionaries. That was where I saw the name Faith and Adra Gbemi works with her. And I pray to continue for her through in Jesus' name.
Amen. It's a powerful name. And I must say,
yes,
it has always been working, still working. Okay, so I know my dad to be someone who loves children. He's very involved in the care of children. He's involved with the growth, the education of his children and other people's children as well. So do you think that it's good for fathers to be allowed to be involved in the lifestyle of their children? Do you think it actually plays a major role in how parenting is for the man as a father?
The father is the number one leader in the house.
Yeah.
He's the head. So he will be involved in training, in the upbringing of the children. Because whatsoever he does, sometimes we think these children don't watch us. They watch and they study. They watch and they study us. So we must leave good examples.
Okay. Fathers should, at what point do you think fathers should start getting involved in the growth of the child? Is it all the way from pregnancy, or after the child has been born, or education, primary, secondary?
I think all the way from pregnancy. All the way from pregnancy. For me, myself, I pray for the children right from when they are living in their mother's womb. Sometimes I put my ear on my mother's tummy, see if I'm hearing them. And they are very funny. So that when you lay your hand there, you see them kicking you, turning their bum to push your hand away. So right from pregnancy, and then as they are growing up now, when they are, when they start knowing things, you start learning critical examples for them to follow.
Very, 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 very important.
I think most of them are adventurous because I was adventurous.
Yeah, because I must say that my dad is very creative, so even making video recordings, taking a lot of pictures, there are all subconscious traits from my dad because he's a subconscious photographer. He goes everywhere with his camera. Then and he snaps almost every scenarios, from the house to we're on the road, we're on a journey, you're cooking. I mean, he always loves to take photographic details of everything that is happening. And I mean, you can have a history of whatever has happened even while you were not aware of yourself, like when you were a baby and all of that. You see the pictures and their storytelling because he follows all the various details from the very beginning to the end. Okay, what else do I want to ask you? Was there any moment in your fatherhood experience that you feel you could have changed? Anything, maybe not necessarily just about me, about other children, that you could have changed, you could have turned back the hands of time? What would you have loved to change?
It was with Olubusola.
Okay.
The number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2. while the other children were in the boarding house, she was at home. She was at home. I mean, she was a day student. So I think the last year, she said that I also want to experience boarding
school
experience, and that's going to cost more money. She finally said, "You can go." When I said she can go, I could see the kind of joy in her. And when I went to visit her, she. And later on, I said, if she had not gone, who knows what might have happened. So from then on, I want to say, any treatment I give to any one of them, it should all be
across board
and go forward.
But is that easy to actualize? Give it equal treatment
like I said.
Board.
Then I didn't have when she went to go to boarding, I didn't have enough money. Money was the constraint then, but God provided.
Okay. So, is there any advice you want to give to upcoming fathers in regards to how they train their children, how they get involved with their children?
Upcoming fathers should bring their children very close to them. Whatsoever they are doing, let the children also get involved. Any work you are doing. In fact, I love taking my children. I work with Cadbury. I love taking them to the office.
Yeah, very true.
I take them to the office, and almost everybody knows them in the canteen. For the firstborn, they know her in the canteen. Once it was break time and I go to pick her, we just go to the canteen. They give her special service. We call her Cadbury here.
Yeah, I remember usually when we go with my dad to his office, then I'm going to the company's canteen. My dad was the first to teach us how to use the cutlery, knife and fork, how to cut the meat. You don't just grab your piece of meat and put it in your mouth. You need to use the fork and the knife to cut it. He will cut it into tiny bits for us and show us how to use the fork and knife to also eat it as well. So it was actually so much fun growing up with him. We learned a lot of things, a lot of life hacks, a lot of how to handle situations basically. And then if you think I talk a lot, or if you think I teach well, I learned it from my dad because he knows how to teach as well. He's a very, 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 very practical man, and he likes to bring examples very close to you, down to earth, like practical things. How can you relate the situation to what you're going through at the moment? Okay, it's been nice.
Do you remember when you were lifting the tank?
Oh yes.
The water tank.
yes. I don't think I was up to 10 years at that point. So my dad does a lot of DIYs, thanks to the fact that he spent some years in the UK at some point. So I think maybe even before then, he already got used to doing things for himself. He's very creative. So before he thinks of actually giving out a job to someone to do, maybe he doesn't even know how to do it. And even when he employs someone to do it, he will still be the one to show the person the easiest way to do that particular assignment or project. So we had this big tank we wanted to put up in the house, which had been welded, created in the house. So we're going to move it from the back of the house to the top of the stand where it was going to stay. And I think he had actually told some people to come help him to move it, and they were all giving excuses of they can't move it, it's too heavy, you shouldn't have used this particular material, that he should have just bought something very light, that this one is so heavy, blah blah blah, they can't move it, or you should get a crane to move it and all. And my dad, being a mechanical engineer, he couldn't wrap his head around their excuses. So I actually started learning the principles of physics from childhood from my dad. So we got some rollers which were readily available in the house anyways, and we placed the rollers underneath the tank. We lifted the tank in sections, myself, my dad, and my brother. My brother too wasn't, he's just a year older than I am. So let's say I was 6 or 7 years old, he was probably 8 or he was 9. So we just put the rollers under the metallic tank, and we were following his instruction. You just push, you just roll, you just keep rolling. As long as the rollers are underneath the tank, you could easily move the tank. I mean, and it was with little or no energy. In fact, there are instances where my dad and myself will be traveling, and then maybe the car gets stuck on the express, on the highway, and it's just him at the driver's seat, and I'm the one pushing, and the car will move. So really, it's just principles of physics, applying them to life and all. And never say never. Never say it's impossible until you have tried to do it. And don't feel like because somebody else couldn't do it, that means it cannot be done. There are ways to do things, and if you know the ways, the hacks to do those things, you will actually be happier for yourself and be a better person, because things will be easy for you to do, basically.
Yeah, I didn't spend time in London. I spent time in Netherlands.
Oh, Netherlands. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was in Netherlands. Okay, so it's been nice having you on my channel.
Thank you for the interview.
Except you want to say any other thing. Alright. Thank you so much, Daddy. Coincidentally, today is Father's Day.
Okay. Father's Day.
Yes.
Stop.
I might not be posting. I'll probably be posting this video after Father's Day, anyways.
Okay.
But it's just a good time to also appreciate my dad publicly. That he's been a great man. He's been a pillar for myself and my siblings, my mom. He has been a sacrificial person. He lives. I mean, his work was very tedious. My dad closes very late. When he was working, while we were growing up, sometimes probably 10, sometimes he comes later than 10 p.m. in the night, and then by 5 a.m. we are all out of the house as well. But he, in the busy schedule that he had, he still created time to be in our lives, to be with us. On Saturdays, he tries as much as possible not to go out, not to go anywhere. He spends time with us. We're either playing a game or we are building something. There was always a project we are working on. I mean, hands-on project. We could be making a chair, we could be making a table, we are probably cutting something, or we are smoking fish, or we are smoking goat meat, you know. And it was fun. There was that family bond time on Saturdays, and sometimes during the weekdays when he's free or he's able to, I don't know how he does it, but sometimes he tries to come pick us from school and we all watch a movie together. We talk about the movie, discuss. He tries to bring it down to our level as children at that time. And very interesting too was our morning devotions. Then he made sure he got something that we could relate with and we could discuss, and it was more about how we the children were absorbing what he was saying, not just about him trying to communicate with God. Because I mean, really, in the process of trying to teach your children the way of the Lord, you are also communicating with God or communing with God. And it was a great time, really. We would fetch water together. We had a well. My dad is so practical. I mean, in as much as he even had the phone at the time, when he had the phone, he would still make us do things manually. You know, then you may think, this man is just stressing. But really, he was teaching us the principles of life, which are valuable to us now at the moment, which are things we're using. He would cook all sorts of delicacies with us. He has his own
concussions.
He has his own cookery book where he would just, I mean, there is no, as long as whatever it is you're putting into the food is nutritious, is healthy, is good. In fact, sometimes when the food is supposedly bad in quotes, my dad is going to transform it and make it into something edible. Okay, and we just come up with, okay, mash this up, mash that up, put in this, add this, a little tweak here, a little tweak there, and at the end of the day, we have something palatable to eat.
Like today, they said it's swollen. I said, don't worry. When I get to the kitchen, I will fry it. I will boil the yogurt and it will kill all the bacteria.
and you eat it. Yes, swollen yogurt. The pack is swollen, but that's my dad. He knows how to revive stuff. Yeah, he did a little bit of food science. Yes, so that part of it can never leave him. He will always transform food all around. Okay, so I want to really appreciate you, sir. You've been a great man in my life and in the lives of my siblings at home. And we are glad to still have you around. You can see his grey hair. My dad's hair used to be full and black, but now he has a bit of the white hair, grey hair growing. Okay, so I'll cut it here for today, and hopefully I get to snatch another father to come and share his experience, his birth experience with us. All right, bye for now.
Bye.
My father on From the start, you were first. He loves you at your worst. He'll do anything. From the start, you were first. He loves you at your worst. He'll do anything. A father, he shows you what love is. Saw your dreams before you did. He'll give everything. Like your heavenly Father, I see God in my Father's eyes. I see God. Our Father's like the Father in the way He loves you. Our Father's like the Father when He carries you through. I am my Father's daughter, as I'm loving another. See love from my Father in heaven through the eyes of my Father on earth. A strong hand is your guide. Feel His strength by your side. You give anything. A father feels your pain when Father, He shows you what love is. Saw your dreams before you did. He'll give everything. Like your heavenly Father, I see God in my Father's eyes. I see God. Our Father's like the Father in the way He loves you. Our Father's like the Father when He carries you through. I am my Father's daughter as I'm loving another. See love